Mark Felt was born August 17, 1913, in Twin Falls, Idaho. He stayed in Idaho until he graduated college from University of Idaho in 1935. He then moved to Washington, D.C. to work for U.S. Senator James Pope. After Senator James Pope left office, Felt continued to work for Pope's successor, Senator David Worth Clark. He would work for him during the day, and at night he would go to school for his law degree. In 1940, he completed his law degree and took a position at the Federal Trade Commission. By 1941, Felt understood that the Federal Trade Commission wasn't for him, and he began the necessary training to become an FBI agent. He worked up in the ranks in the FBI until May of 1972. President Hoover died in his sleep that day, and President Richard Nixon appointed L. Patrick Gray as acting director of the FBI. This moved Felt into the position of Associate Director, making him second in command at the Bureau. On June 17, 1972, 5 men were arrested for breaking into Democratic National Committee headquarters. This later would be nicknamed the Watergate Scandal because of the name of the office complex in which the event took place. Because Felt was second in command, he was asked to lead the investigation into the break-in to look into the extent, if there was any, of White House involvement. 2 days later, the Washington Post journalists Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein received information from a government official, aka Deep Throat, Mark Felt, that former CIA agent and Nixon staff member Howard Hunt was definitely involved in the Watergate scandal. This tip-off gave journalists the leverage to call for a widespread investigation of the White House's activities. This investigation ultimately uncovered a wide variety of criminal acts, including campaign fraud, political espionage, breaking and entering, and illegal wiretapping that all led back to President Nixon and his staff. The evidence ultimately led to Nixon's resignation on August 9, 1974. Up until then, the identity of Deep Throat remained a mystery. Felt ended up retiring from the FBI on June 22, 1973, about a year after he leaked to the press about the Watergate scandal. Fast forward to 2005, after a few encounters with a serious illness, his daughter, Joan, persuaded him to go public and reveal his identity as Deep Throat. On May 31, 2005, Felt broke his silence and revealed he was Deep Throat through an issue of Vanity Fair. The article revealed Felt's identity, and Woodward and Bernstein, the journalists, later confirmed his identity. The reason for Felt's leak led back to his thought that he felt the CIA deliberately gave the FBI false leads. Felt wanted to make sure justice was served and continued to make sure the scandal remained in the news until justice was made. He would continue to confirm or deny confidential information for the reporters during the investigation of the Watergate scandal. They would in return weave their new information into their frequent stories, often on the Washington Post's front page. Because of the continued coverage, the public began to back Deep Throat in his fight for justice. Deep Throat proved to the public that no person, not even the President of the United States, is above the law. Felt wanted to remain silent until death, but for some reason he felt it was necessary to reveal himself 3 years before he died. Felt died on December 18, 2008, in his sleep due to congestive heart failure. Mark Felt took a leap of faith to fight for something he believed in, and it paid off in the end. Mark Felt was crucial in society as his role as a whistleblower because he was able to prove that people in power are not exempt from laws of society.